Welcome back everyone. Workbook solutions. In today's session, I'm going to discuss 7 very important short answer questions from Act 3, Scene 1. And according to the new pattern, the word limit is 100 to 150 words. These are reference materials. Go through them and frame your own answers. A much awaited video on request. Do check the pinned comment section for all important video links related to your syllabus, and also subscribe to our channel and do not forget to tap the bell icon. Question 1. In Act 3, Scene 1 of Macbeth, Macbeth shows he is learning to exercise his power of manipulation. Comment. This means that you will have to critically analyze the statement that is there in your question. And here, I will have to justify how Macbeth shows he is learning to exercise his power of manipulation. Manipulate का मतलब क्या है? किसी को अपने पक्ष में प्रभावित कर लेना कि वह वही करे या सोचे जो आप चाहते हैं. So this is manipulation, and here Macbeth is successfully manipulating Banquo and the two murderers. Act 3, Scene 1 of Macbeth shows further progress in Macbeth's criminality. Macbeth has become a hard-hearted, cold-blooded criminal. Having mastered the art of dissimulation, pretense, he has strangled his conscience. What is the meaning of strangled his conscience? He does not distinguish between good and bad, good and evil. He has strangled his conscience. He is not listening to his inner voice. Clearly evident from the manner in which he begins exercising his power of manipulation. Observe how I have established a direct connection between the question and the answer. And if you are successful in doing so, the examiner, trust me, is going to be impressed with your efforts. He begins exercising his power of manipulation. This expression is there in the question, and I have used this in the introductory paragraph itself. So these are the critical points, and now I will justify my standpoint with the help of suitable textual examples. Macbeth's questions to Banquo: ride you this afternoon, goes fleance with you, are simple yet sinister, evil and ironical, revealing his murderous thoughts. He shrewdly squeezes from Banquo the relevant information so that he can plot his assassination and plant assassins at correct places. He shrewdly squeezes cunningness, shrewdness, wickedness of Macbeth. He squeezes from Banquo the relevant information. This is his power of manipulation. He manages to get the relevant information so that he can plot against Banquo easily and also ensure successful execution of the plot. He does not reveal his murderous thoughts openly but asks simple questions, and Banquo gives him the required information. He replies, ride you this afternoon? He gives an answer. Macbeth asks, goes fleance with you? Banquo gives an answer. And in this way, Macbeth comes to know about Banquo's plans for the day. Next, this is a first example, and I have used textual quotations as well. He cleverly works on the feelings of the two murderers. The second example, he blames Banquo for the injustices done to them. Both of you know Banquo was your enemy. He accuses Banquo. A direct accusation. Why? To convince the murderers that they must take revenge on Banquo because he is a culprit. This is also manipulation. Both of you know Banquo was your enemy so that they act from personal animosity. Macbeth will remain a passive participant. He will not come to the forefront. He will remain in the background. But he wants the murderers to act against Banquo from personal animosity. And he manipulates them. He tells them repeatedly Do you know who is responsible for the injustices done to you? It is Banquo, so that they get angry with him and they'll take revenge for the wrongs done by him on them. So, personal animosity. And he will remain a passive participant in the crime. But ultimately, his purpose will be fulfilled. They will thereby not only eliminate their enemy Banquo, but also be bound to the king in great love and affection. He also promises them royal favor. You will eliminate your enemy Banquo if you kill Banquo. But ultimately, who will be the most benefited party over here? It is going to be Macbeth, because he will no longer have a fruitless crown or a barren scepter. The murderers will just act from personal animosity, but he will be the most benefited person over here. It is Macbeth. He manipulates them to assassinate Fleance as well. Not just Banquo, but they must murder Fleance as well. What has Fleance done to the murderers? So here, in this way, I have justified the statement that in Act 3, Scene 1 of Macbeth, Macbeth is learning to exercise his power of manipulation. He manipulates them to assassinate Fleance also at a distance. Another manipulation. He does not want the crime to be committed near his palace, but they must go at a safer place at a distance from his palace. Why? To avert suspicion from him. So, he has made all the arrangements to avoid any kind of suspicion. No one will ever come to know who is guilty of murdering Banquo and Fleance. In this way, he convinces, he plays upon the feelings of the two murderers to fulfill his own selfish, wicked, evil intentions, motives. So 154 words. Dear students, this is a request. Do a little bit of editing and this reference material is going to be perfect for your examination preparation. So end of question 1. What are the specific reasons for Macbeth's desire to eliminate Banquo and his son Fleance in Act 3, Scene 1? Again, 5 marks. You will have to mention the specific reasons. Macbeth is anxious to do away, eliminate, do away with Banquo as he knows that Banquo suspects him. To the point answer. Specific reason number 1. He knows that Banquo suspects him. He is also anxious to eliminate Fleance because he is out to defy fate, out to challenge fate, and will not allow Banquo's issues to be kings after him. This is specific reason number 2. Banquo will never be the root and father of many kings according to Macbeth. So he will do anything and everything to achieve this end. And in this way, he will not hesitate to challenge fate also. He will defy fate and he will kill not only Banquo but also Fleance. With Fleance, he wants to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. And work here is the conspiracy. This is reason number 3. Macbeth cannot forget the witch's prophecy about the succession of Banquo's descendants to the throne, and it is particularly this thought, together with his feeling that his genius is rebuked under Banquo as Mark Antony's was by Caesar, that goads him into the dark deed. So this is reason number 4. Reason number 4, Macbeth cannot forget the witch's prophecy. Banquo's descendants will be the new kings. His sons will not succeed Macbeth, but Banquo's descendants will get the throne. And it is particularly this thought plus the feeling that his genius is being rebuked under Banquo, as Mark Antony was by Caesar, that goads him into the dark deed. Number 5. It is the greatness of Banquo, his royalty of nature, dauntless temper of mind, wisdom, that directs his heroism to act boldly yet without undue risks, that rouse Macbeth's implacable jealousy. Another reason, he is jealous of Banquo. And why is he jealous of Banquo? Because of his greatness, because of his royalty of nature, because of his dauntless temper of his mind, fearless courage, and because of his wisdom that directs his heroism to act boldly yet without undue risks. And all these factors lead to jealousy. Macbeth lives in fears, constant fear. His fears in Banquo stick deep. Number 7. His fears in Banquo stick deep. Every moment of Banquo's life is like a dagger thrust into the most essential parts of Macbeth's body. So this is 8. He leads a restless life full of anxiety and constant fear because of Banquo. He does not want a fruitless crown and a barren scepter. Number 9. So in this answer, I have cited 9 specific reasons. Just notice the word limit here is 161 words. This is a reference answer. Once again, I am reminding you this. So do a little bit of editing and I am sure you will not exceed 150 words to write this answer. I have given you 9 reasons. So frame the answer according to the question available and frame your answers taking relevant points from here as per your requirements. You are absolutely free to frame your own answers. This is question number 2, and now let's move on to question number 3. What do we learn about Macbeth's relationship with his wife? A very important question. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth enter as king and queen together. They are together in the beginning. In Act 3, Scene 1, they are hospitable hosts of a royal banquet. Macbeth has mastered the art of dissimulation. He is putting up a false show. He is pretending. Lady Macbeth supports it. So, relationship-wise, they are together. Macbeth is pretending and Lady Macbeth is supporting him. And she also pretends when she says that if they had forgotten to include Banquo in their feast, it would be a serious omission. Things all unbecoming. It would be a serious omission. But the gradual fading away of Lady Macbeth is foreshadowed here. Important critical point, foreshadowed. Gradual fading away of Lady Macbeth. In Act 3, Scene 2, we will see this in detail. But here, we see the foreshadowing of the gradual fading away of Lady Macbeth. They are together. But emotionally, Lady Macbeth and Macbeth have drifted away from each other. And gradually she fades away from Macbeth's evil scheme of things. After this, there is no direct interaction between them here. Just a few words between the two, and after this, there is no direct interaction. There is a distance. And why is there a distance? Macbeth has progressed so further in his criminality that he does not need Lady Macbeth's goadings anymore. If you remember how Lady Macbeth goaded him to become a criminal, you will realize that now her role has been reversed. Her position in Macbeth's life has changed. Macbeth does not need her goadings anymore. He is doing everything alone to challenge fate and does not want a fruitless crown. He is obsessed with this. The relationship hence suffers a setback, although they are together. So this is a critical analysis of their relationship. He is anxious to do away with Banquo and Fluence, draws out relevant information from Banquo, manipulates the murderers to assassinate them, but there is no Lady Macbeth in all these things. He does not even share his fears with her. So emotionally, they have drifted away. This is a relationship that they share, and we see a glimpse of it in Act 3, Scene 1. In Act 3, Scene 2, we will be able to elaborate on the change in their relationship. So there is a foreshadowing of a distance between the two in Act 3, Scene 1. 157 words, again, a little bit of editing. Question 4 now. What is the significance of Macbeth's speech to the murderers in Act 3, Scene 1? All these questions are important. Macbeth's speech to the murderers in Act 3, Scene 1 reveals his shrewdness, number 1, manipulation, number 2, persuasion. He persuades. What is persuasion? Convincing capability. Shrewdness, manipulation, persuasion, and criminality. Critical comment right at the very beginning. The significance of the speech. This is delivered during their second meeting. The first took place the previous day. The plot has already been discussed the previous day. Only details are to be settled here during the second meeting. And you will have to analyze the significance of the second meeting, the speech delivered during the second meeting. His fears in Banquo stick deep. Fluence's absence is no less material to him. Hence, he cleverly works on the feelings of the murderers, convinces them that Banquo is their enemy. Quotation. He makes sure that they act from personal animosity, also kill Fluence, maintain secrecy, and unquestioningly accept him as a passive participant in the crime. We have discussed all these things in the previous answers. So by now, I'm sure you have understood the concept. So the concept remains the same. The framing of answers will change according to the question available. So he accuses that Banquo is their enemy. He makes sure that they act from personal animosity and hatred for Banquo. They also convince them to kill Fluence without any reason. They also must maintain secrecy. They must not reveal the details to anybody. And they also unquestioningly accept him as a passive participant. He will remain at the background. He will not come ahead and take steps directly on his own, because he has some common friends and he cannot lose them. The speech shows significance once again. Macbeth's minute preparations. He is so, as a schemer, he is so perfect. He is a perfectionist. He is paying attention to every minute detail for the successful execution of the assassinations. He will tell them where to plant, that means where to hide, the perfect spy of the time, the perfect time, and the murderers must be committed. The murders must be committed something away from the palace, far away from the palace, as he requires clearness. He is clear about each and every aspect of the plot. He does not want any mistake. He promises them royal favor. Such is his resolution to challenge fate. The conclusion. So this is the significance. Shrewdness, cunningness, manipulation, persuasion, and criminality. The critical comment right at the beginning, and in this way I have analyzed Macbeth's speech to the murderers by giving suitable textual examples. Question 5. Who are the murderers and how do they feel about killing Banquo and Fluence? The murderers are not murderers by profession. They are soldiers whose fortunes, according to Macbeth, have been ruined by Banquo's influence. In this way, Macbeth accuses Banquo. And how do they feel about killing Banquo and Fluence? Macbeth cleverly works on their feelings and manipulates them to blame Banquo for their misfortunes. They are made to believe that Banquo is their enemy. The vile blows and buffets of the world have so deeply embittered the first murderer that he will take revenge upon the world. The second murderer is weary with distress, tugged with fortune, that he will risk his life on any chance to mend it or be rid on it. So they believe Macbeth, turn against Banquo and resolve to act from personal animosity. They will kill Banquo and Fluence as commanded by Macbeth. The successful execution of the murders grapples them to the heart and love of us, bind them to him in love and affection, and they will win his royal favor. This is a promise that Macbeth has made to them in exchange for their help. The successful execution will bind them to him in love and affection, and they will win royal favor. And they are resolved. How do they feel? They are resolved. They are so manipulated that they are resolved to act from personal animosity. They are sure that they want revenge upon Banquo. They want to teach Banquo a lesson. Fluence must die and Banquo must die. This is a result of the manipulation of Macbeth. This is question number 5. Now very quickly let's move on to question number 6. In Act 3 Scene 1 of Macbeth, what does Macbeth ask Banquo to do? How does Banquo respond to Macbeth's request? In Act 3 Scene 1 of Macbeth, King Macbeth informs Banquo that there will be a solemn supper. That night, he requests Banquo's presence. He adds, "Fail not our feast." Important quotation. This invitation smacks of Macbeth's hypocrisy and art of dissimulation. He is pretending over here and he is being hypocritical. Fail not our feast. This is what he asks Banquo to do. Come and attend our feast. So this is a royal invitation. How does Banquo respond to Macbeth's request? Banquo accepts the royal invitation out of his allegiance, dutifulness, faithfulness to the king. He promptly obeys the king's command. He will ride this afternoon but will try to return at the stipulated time lest his horse becomes slow. In that case, he will be a little late. Banquo says, "My lord, I will." This shows that he will attend the banquet. And these words suggest perhaps the most striking instance of irony in the play. Why is it so? Ironically, Macbeth does not want Banquo to be present at the banquet. And ironically, the hypocrite Macbeth is served with hypocrisy. Just a little while ago over here, we have discussed how Banquo, like a dutiful subject, obeyed the king's command, accepted his invitation. But ironically, the hypocrite Macbeth is served with hypocrisy. Banquo appears to be faithful, but he is suspicious of King Macbeth's rapid rise to power. So both pretend with each other. Apparently, he accepts the invitation as a dutiful, faithful subject, but actually, he is suspicious of Macbeth and he is pretending. He will come. He does not know that he is going to be murdered as of now. Therefore, he says, "My lord, I will." Hence, these words suggest perhaps the most striking instance of irony in the play. The members of the audience know that he is going to be assassinated, but he does not know right now. He says, "My lord, I will come." But "my lord, I will," this also reveals his hypocritical response. Actually, he is suspicious. Therefore, he pretends that he is obedient to Macbeth. He does not reveal his suspicion to Macbeth. So, this is how Banquo responds to Macbeth's request. Now, question 7. Very quickly, in Act 3, Scene 1 of Macbeth, what does Banquo suspect Macbeth's rise to power? How does Macbeth feel about Banquo's suspicions? In Act 3, Scene 1, Banquo's soliloquy reveals his suspicion of Macbeth's rise to power. "Thou hast it all," remember? Macbeth has got it now. What has he got? King, Corder, Glamis, total fulfillment of the prophecies made by the three weird sisters. Complete fulfillment as predicted by the weird women. So I have quoted from the text. He fears that Macbeth play this most foully for it. Quotation. And the meaning, that is, he has gained kingship by playing the dirtiest trick. And here, what is the dirtiest trick? It's regicide. What is regicide? If you have followed me in your class 11 session, then by now you must be familiar with the term regicide. And for all our new subscribers, let me just tell what is the meaning of regicide once again. Regicide is the act of killing king. It's the act of killing the king. And here we have the regicide of Duncan, King Duncan by Macbeth. So Macbeth has become so powerful, he has acquired kingship of Scotland by playing the dirtiest trick, committing regicide. So these are the suspicions of Banquo. In this way, Banquo suspects Macbeth. Now, how does Macbeth feel about Banquo's suspicions? Both are suspicious of each other. Macbeth is sure that Banquo suspects him and is afraid of the consequences. Very important. He says, "To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus." What is the meaning of this? So, I am the king, but I am not safe as a king. I live in constant fear. So, it is of no use to be in such a state of instability. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. If you are king, you must be the king safely, that is, free from all challenges. But here, Banquo is a threat to his power. He is his competitor. He will pose a challenge perhaps to him in future. His fears in Banquo stick deep. Banquo's wisdom directs his heroism to act boldly yet without undue risks. Perhaps Macbeth fears that, very important, Banquo may attempt to assassinate him also, just as he has assassinated King Duncan. So he is anxious, he is restless and bent on doing away, killing Banquo and Fleance to wipe out their lineage, so that no descendants of Banquo may become the next kings. He wants to eliminate all challenges. Banquo is a potential threat to his power, and so Macbeth is so cautious. Macbeth is so careful as related to Banquo.